let's get into the meat of the presentation today, which is the best practices when requesting Google reviews. Here's what our agenda is going to be. We're going to first talk about why they matter. We're going to get into asking for reviews. We're going to talk about incentives being a no-no, which kind of came up earlier in our conversations. How to respond to reviews, a little bit about photos and videos, and then some additional resources that will help you in moving this thing further. So let's first talk about why reviews matter so much, all right? Now, I found a great article from Bright Local. I think I showed you guys earlier, Bright Local. Great review statistics from Bright Local. It's a 2024 study. I've got a bunch of slides from them because it's really amazing. And I've got the links later on that you can take a look at. But one of the big things I found here was as far as this, following statements, is that reviews, people, and you can see the differences from 2022, 2023, 2024. So 50% of people agree with the fact that they trust consumer reviews as much as a personal recommendation from friends and family. That is huge, right? I mean, you think about it, you go up to a stranger and you ask them for a referral and they give you one, you're probably unlikely to go ahead and actually call that person, right? But if a good friend gives you that same referral, even a few minutes after, you're gonna give them a call. And what's interesting about this particular thing is, hey, about half of the people say that these online reviews are as valuable to them and are trusted as much as a personal recommendation from friend and family. That's huge. And then you can even see the next one here. 35% of people agree with the fact of the question that I trust consumer reviews as much as recommendations from social media influencers that they follow. So people that they're already kind of in touch with, in essence. So very interesting there that I found that one about the trust factor that you get from reviews. A couple other ones here. Another big one. 75% overall consumers either always or regularly read online reviews when trying to find a local business to work with. And you probably all done it yourselves. This is key, right? 33% of people always look for online reviews. Another 42% regularly look for reviews. Only 25% either occasionally or never look for them. But again, people are reading and looking at reviews to understand who you are, what kind of business you are, how you interact with your customers as well. Now, we talked about some of the citation sources and the places for reviews, and the big three are still Google, Facebook, and Yelp, all right? Although all of them have fallen a little bit recently, Yelp in particular has kind of dropped from 53% back in 2022 down to 44%. You're still seeing good numbers from like TripAdvisor and the Better Business Bureau, and it does kind of depend upon the industry. Like if you're in the hospitality industry, a lot of people use TripAdvisor to get information from, so it's a really good one to be in. If you're a business, Better Business Bureau is definitely one to be in. But you can see here, excuse me, it's not that much. Most folks are Google, 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 right? 81% folks are using the find businesses and the business reviews. Now, another study here talked about how many review sites or platforms do consumers check before deciding to use a local business. This one's a bit more interesting, I thought. 25% of people look for 3 different platforms. So they may look at Yelp and Facebook and Google, right? 23% use one source, 36% use 2 sources. So most people are, in essence, checking both, one or 2 platforms before deciding on something. They kind of want to make sure that it's not been fixed or rigged, in essence, right? And we have seen those kind of things in the past where people may hire someone to kind of fake reviews, or they get into some kind of review faking program. So it's important to understand that. And this was an interesting one in that study too that I saw, which I was kind of a little surprised by. We're talking about AI as well. And this was like, do consumers prefer review responses written by humans or by AI? And this blind test showed that 58% of people preferred the response that got generated by AI. Now, this is actually the response to the review from the owner. And I just found it really interesting that, 58% of the people who were shown this thought the review written by AI was better than the one that was actually written by the business owner. So just something to think about if you're trying to automate some of your processes or get them a little bit faster, that these automated responses are not anything to worry about from a search perspective, right? We've been talking, and you've probably been hearing if you're doing any legwork, that using AI generated content like ChatGPT content and just copying and pasting it into your into your website and expecting Google to rank it at the top is unlikely to do well. We've seen some numbers on that already. but this is not going to impact you at all. So if it can save you a little bit of time and give you a good response, consider it. And they matter a lot. I mean, 71% of consumers who would not consider using a business with an average rating below 3 stars. That's 16% lower than it was in 2023. 6% fewer consumers would use a business with a 3.5-star rating in 2024 than in 2023. So less of that's happening. And what you're looking for, honestly, is you should be aiming for a minimum average star rating of 4.0 and aiming for at least 20 to 49 reviews for consumers to kind of really consider using you, okay? And you can see from the 20 to 49, 50 to 99, it starts to add up. So when you only have like 0 to 19, and you've probably done this yourselves, you're like, well, that could be skewed. It's probably just they're well-known folks or whatnot, or it's early on, or it's a younger business. Older businesses tend to have a lot. And you can see even 12% of folks nowadays are saying that the number of reviews does not impact their decision. For me, personally, I don't care too much about the numbers. I am looking for the star review. I do want to see who's got the best star review with the highest numbers. But I tend to go in and I look at the newest ones, right? I want to go into the reviews and say, show me the newest one. This was a big deal for me. And I'll tell you, last year and a half ago, I was looking for a nursing home for my mom up in Atlanta. And I was really relying on reviews because I didn't go in there. I couldn't get to Atlanta and go into all these nursing homes. I did a lot of legwork up there. And I looked at the newest reviews, especially since a lot of the reviews had happened over COVID, right? This is a year and a half ago that I was looking. It was a year and a half, 2 years before that. And some of the reviews during COVID were horrendous. I mean, you could imagine because of everything that was going on in nursing homes back then. And so I only wanted to look at the new ones. So I did a lot of digging, a lot of legwork, and really evaluating the number of reviews, their star ratings. And I was making spreadsheets up to try to figure out, well, who am I going to call? Where do I want to put her? But I used the numbers, the review ratings, how what their star ratings were. Anything that wasn't a 4.0 or above, I kind of eliminated right away. And then I went from there. And then I looked at the newest one to see, well, are the new reviews really good or are the new reviews really bad? Right? Is it a lower ranking because there were a lot of things that were bad during COVID, but the last year's been really good? Okay, well, let me go with that one. Let me consider that one. So I do a little bit of both of these things when I'm doing my evaluation as well. So you might want to do it as well.